Hello, viewers. Welcome to another segment of the program, Making Nigeria Great. First of all, I want to use this medium to congratulate those that made President Tinubu ministerial list yesterday. Yes, the long-awaited list was finally out. It's no longer news. It's all over the social media. And of course, it's worthy of celebration because in a country whereby a lot of factors must be considered before being selected, political consideration, loyalty and all of that. It's not easy making such list. And I want to believe this was one of the reasons why Honorable Stella was speaking in tongue after making such list. So it is time to tell Honorable Stella that after the celebration, speaking in tongue, there are works to do. It is time to work. So I personally, for some obvious reasons, I've always seen ministerial positions as a political composition from the president, and maybe this is always one of the reasons why some former president, they always build their administrations around their SA, their senior advisors, because in a situation whereby you have some former governors who have lot of questionable characters, lot of questions to answer to EFCC, ICPC, and all of that, making ministerial position. In a situation whereby you have people who are not even experienced in the ministry they are heading. For instance, Minister of Agriculture, you can imagine putting someone who doesn't even have any experience regarding agricultural sector. So this has always been the normal thing, the normal stories all over the years. So I've always seen it as a political compensation for being loyal to the president or something during the electoral process. So maybe it is time for these incoming ministers to prove Nigerians wrong. That of course, even though there are a lot of arguments, reactions, criticism around them, of course, they can really prove Nigerians wrong and deliver. And of course, it is time to set agenda for the new incoming ministers. It is right time to set agenda for them and tell them, or let me advise them in any aspect that you think they should improve on, or how to better the country and move the country forward. All our target is to make Nigeria great. All our focus, irrespective of our religion, of our political affiliations, our number one priority should be how to make Nigeria a proud nation. And I personally have some 5 ministries that I want the president to really put effective. This shouldn't be political compensation. They should put effective people of track record, people of high profiles that have antecedents in those ministries. Of course, every ministries are very important, don't get me wrong, but I think these 5 ministries we help our present situation in the country. And number one on my list is the Ministry of Defense. The country is really facing a lot of security issues right now, where there's a lot of security threats across the country, the banditry, the kidnapping, the unknown gunmen, and all of that. So the person that will be heading that ministry should be very, very experienced, not just for political compensation, where it is not a position where you will use to intimidate people. It's not a position where you will use to upgrade your political career. The person that should be chosen in that ministry should be very, very experienced and must be able to harmonize the country. The country is really divided right now. The country, there are a lot of divisions, there are a lot of segregations and all of that. They must be able to harmonize the country and bring the insecurity threats that is facing the country to an end, or let me say to the barest minimum. And of course, the Ministry of Agriculture, you've always known me to be in support of agriculture. I've always said that our identity as an Africans, as in Nigeria, is agriculture, even though we've not been tapping into that. I know the discovery of crude oil, comes as a blessing at the same time as a, lot of disadvantages comes with it. So agriculture is our identity. The Minister for Agriculture should be someone that has track records, that has delivered, when it comes to agriculture that can formulate, or let me say, that can initiate policies that can really help that sectors. There are a lot of aspects that we can tap when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to making what we consume in the country. Of course, we can do that. It's very sad when we import farm products from desert countries that we consider as desert, that are not good for agricultural products, when we import farm products from those countries. So the Minister of Agriculture should be able to make Nigerians start seeing the reasons why they should produce what they consume. Enough of importation. So of course we can't totally do away with importation, but we need to limit our importation, especially on consumptions. We need to limit it. So the Minister of Agriculture should be taken very, very serious. And another on my list is the Ministry of Youth, or Youth and Sport, like they always put it. Yes, I decided to put that ministry because we need a vibrant minister in that ministry that will really able to formulate ideas that will encourage Nigerian youth to propel, or let me say, to help in building this country. A lot of Nigerian talent, a lot of Nigerians are going abroad, doing some unreasonable jobs and all of that, all because the country is non-lucrative. They see it as a desert where they cannot achieve their dreams. The Ministry of Youth and Sport, as they always put it, must be able to formulate policies that will really encourage Nigerian talent, Nigerian youth, to see the need to help in building this country. That ministry should not be for compensation. It's not be for figurehead people. That ministry is very important. We must support our youth. Our talents are in overseas. Some of them, when you look at a lot of international team, go to America, go to Switzerland, you see a lot of Nigerians playing and playing for those foreign countries. So that ministry should be given to someone that can really deliver in that aspect. And the fourth ministry on my list is the Minister for Defense, Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Finance. I've said something regarding defense. The Ministry of Finance. Yes, one of the problems that we are having is the economic issue. We need someone with track record who can really formulate ideas, bring to the table ideas that can really boost our economy. We really need someone, not just a figure, not just a political compensation person who will just be there just to just for figurehead. We need someone with track record who can help in boosting our economy. Our economy is very poor. Our economy, even though some media outlets rate Nigeria as the leading economy in Africa, which is very, very embarrassing to me, because California as a state in US, their internal generated revenue as a state is even bigger than Nigeria as a country. That's very embarrassing. And they said Nigeria is the leading economy in Africa. So what are we saying? So we need someone who can boost that department. And finally on my list is the Ministry of Education. Please, for God's sake, lots of things are very, very wrong in our educational sector. There are a lot of things that are outdated that we are still using, and is not making a lot of Nigerians to be productive. A lot of Nigerian graduates, a situation whereby we are still using the 1960s curriculum, and the whole system of teaching is what we are still using. In a situation whereby in advanced countries they are talking of artificial intelligence, how to develop or generate revenue for the country using artificial intelligence. And go to our schools, to go to our higher institutions, you see lot of unreasonable things happening in that department. In that sector. So our Ministry of Education really need lots of revival. There are a lot of things that should be done in that ministry. So we really need, it's very sad when you take Nigerian certificate abroad and they don't even see it as anything meaningful, something that you spend 7 years, with ASU strike and all of that to acquire, and you take it to abroad and you tender it. They don't see it as they don't see, because they know that you can easily buy certificate in Nigeria. You can easily, it's not recognized. It's very sad. We need to be taken serious. We have lot of experts when it comes to this who can occupy that position, and those 5 ministries should be really taken serious. I think if we can get those 5 departments very right, very correct, there will be changes into our country. Of course, other aspects are very important. The Ministry of power. A lot of that, they are very important. But personally, I think those 5 ministries are very important to the development of our country. And finally, before I round it up, I think it is time we start honoring the 2019 disability bill that was passed by the former President Buhari. If truly we sign that bill into law, I think it is time we start including people with disabilities into the ministries, into the administration of, be it minister, be it governor. It is time we start seeing them. A lot of them are capable, a lot of them are genius. They are very brilliant, they can deliver. So we shouldn't discriminate these people. It is time we start making use of that bill that was signed in 2019 and include them, show them some sense of belongings. They also belong to this country, and we all want to make the country great. And God's willing, we hope to achieve that. Thank you very much, everybody. Next episode, we focus on, I will tell you next. And I would love you to help me to follow my YouTube channel where I always drop my let me say weekly program on how to make Nigeria great. Thank you, everyone. God bless Nigeria.